Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie Angel Heart. Now before I start, let me say that this is a great movie, but it is not a correct portrayal on Voodoo or the people who practice that religion. So let me repeat that. It's a great movie, but it is not a correct portrayal of Voodoo or the people who practice that religion. Now, I still recommend this movie, and the reason why I recommend this movie is because a special edition version of this movie came out, and it looks like this. Now, the special edition version of this movie that came out has a documentary that goes along with the movie, and the documentary interviews some voodoo priests and voodoo priestesses, and they talk about the truths behind the modern day practice of the voodoo religion. And I think that is great. And it dispels some of the inaccuracies that is within this movie. But they talk about the connection and the history behind voodoo in New Orleans, and they talk about the spiritual beliefs of voodoo, and they talk about voodoo in the media. And one of the things they do in the documentary is they even go over some of the scenes within the movie, and they tell you what is true within that scene and what is false. So I think that is definitely worth the money that you will pay for getting this DVD. As I said before, movie is great, but definitely watch the documentary if you do not know anything about voodoo or the way they practice their religion. Okay, back to the movie. Great movie. One of the reasons why I like this movie is because it's a mixture of film noir and horror. And I thought that that was really unique to the way they put this movie together. Within the movie, the plot of the movie is basically there's this private detective. His name is Harry Angel. He is employed by a man named Louis Cypher. Now, of course, that's a play on names. Say Louis Cypher 3 times really fast and you will get the true meaning of that name. Anyway, he was hired by a man named Louis Cypher, which is basically the devil, played by Robert De Niro. And Louis Cypher is looking for this guy who owes him a debt. And you can only, you can guess what that debt is. Anyway, throughout the movie, Harry Angel is trying to track down this man named Johnny Favorite. And apparently, they don't tell you this at first, but Johnny Favorite is a man who basically sold his soul to the devil so that he can get riches and fame and this and that and other. And at the last moment, when it was time to give up his soul to the devil, he did something to get out of that contract. And anyone who ever studies these stories about the devil and these supposed contracts to get riches and fame, at the last moment, whoever has this contract, they're going to try to get out of it. Who wouldn't want to, get out of a contract with the devil? Now, of course, the devil is going to track you down and try to get his, due. Give the devil his due, right? Anyway, so that's basically the plot of the movie. I don't want to give you guys too much of the storyline because I want you to actually watch the movie. But I will say that there's a lot of truth within this movie that comes out. A lot of interesting facts that go along with this movie. Those of you who know anything about the blues knows that in a way this movie is sort of like a play on Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson is the legendary blues guitar player who supposedly went to the crossroads around midnight or whenever to meet the devil. He went to the crossroads, with his guitar, played the devil a song, and said, if you make me rich and famous, that I will give you my soul. And everyone knows that, Robert Johnson is the legendary blues guitar player. Now, if this is true, I doubt it. You know, I take these stories with a grain of salt, but it does make for a good storyline to a horror movie, I guess. So basically, you know, it's just a retelling of that story with, you know, different twists and whatnot. And I guess if you look back in history, it's really a retelling of the old Faust story. You know, Faust being the guy who basically wanted, you know, similar things. He wanted to be, you know, ultra smart. He wanted to be a great scientist. And he wanted to win the love of his life, and this, not another, in exchange for his soul. So, that's basically the premise of the movie. But the movie is a lot deeper than that. One of the things that I liked about the movie is it's an exploration in someone trying to figure out who he is, and it's an exploration of the nature of man, and trying to find out what your true nature is, who you are really. So I thought that was really, you know, a great added thing that the director put into the movie. So those of you who've watched the movie know what I'm talking about. So those of you who haven't watched the movie, you gotta see it to know what I'm getting at here. So excellent movie, highly recommended. Any movie that has Robert De Niro as the devil, I highly recommend it. I mean, they had some great actors. So Robert De Niro, Mickey Rourke, and of course they had Lisa Bonet. Love Lisa Bonet. She was in the movie too. She plays Johnny Favorite's daughter in the movie. As I said, it has a lot of really cool twists within the movie, and, you know, a couple of things that you weren't necessarily expecting to see. So if you get a chance, um, I highly recommend you getting the movie from the video store, the library, or just buying the movie. It's not the greatest movie as far as depicting um, voodoo as it truly is, but then again, you have the documentary that sort of makes up for that. So recommend it. Check it out. If you have any thing to say about the movie, leave it in my comments. And until next time, love is the law. Peace.